give a special thank you to Vista BMW in Coconut Creek, Florida for letting me review this vehicle. I'm going to leave all their information in the description below. What is going on YouTube? So today we have another car review for you. I'm going to look at the 2022 BMW iX 50. Now this car is BMW's first fully electric SUV. This car was built from the ground up. This is a 2022. Now this car has, in this specific spec, it has 324 miles of range. It has 516 horsepower and 560 pound torque. Now it has 21-inch rims, and now these are specific to the BMW EVs. So let's look at the car from the front. Now you'll see that it has BMW's new design language. It has the kidney grille. Now you'll notice that because it's an electric vehicle, it doesn't need to have, any vents to cool the engine. So all you see is this diamond pattern. Then you see the radar in the front, BMW logo. Now it's important to notice that the blue around the oval means it's an electric. So anytime you see a BMW with that blue oval around it, it's an electric vehicle. Then you have the BMW LED headlights. And again, this is BMW's new design language for their EVs. So the new 7 Series is going to have a similar look to this with the thin headlights. So you don't have fog lights on this one. Now this specific color is called Phaeton Blue. Let's take a quick walk around the vehicle. So the car starts at $83,000. So let's look at the rear. You see the iX, and again, those somewhat small tail lights. And again, you have the BMW logo. You have a gloss black on the bottom there. This is the xDrive 50. Then you'll notice here engraved it says iX, and this is where you charge it. Now in this video I'm going to go through all the specs, the exterior, the interior. We're going to drive it and see how it feels, see how it compares, because obviously Tesla is the benchmark, but BMW's in this category. It's a new category for them. I mean, they did have the i3, but this is where they really move up into the premium competition, competing with Tesla, competing with Porsche. It's going to come out with Macan EV soon. So I mean, this should be an interesting review. Alright, so let's look at the interior for this car. Now you'll notice that the door handles are flush. So you would, if you had the key, you would come up here, you'd lock and unlock there, or you could use the remote control. Alright, so that's the interior here. This has a Harman Kardon. Your controls for unlock and lock. Your seat adjustments. Your child safety. So you have several adjustments here. You have a pretty big space for your items. Unlock the trunk, cup holder. Now this interior is newly designed for this car specifically. So they did want to make sustainable materials as possible. So I don't believe this is actually leather, but it looks very similar to it, and I'm sure it's a synthetic material. So let's look at this interior here. So you see this new screen layout for the BMW IX. This new steering wheel here. Then you have your iDrive, your layout here. And you'll see that you have this new looking little toggle for the gears, which is very interesting actually. So I actually like this like elevated section that you have there. You also have underneath your cup holders, you have ports for your cables there, your wireless charging. And you have your glove box. The seats are pretty nice as well. Now what I like about this roof, it's like a panoramic. It's almost like in the Tesla we have a full glass roof. And you see how it kind of shades. It's very interesting. So you have your modes, your settings, your horn. I like this wheel design, some kind of new design where it's a 2-spoke steering wheel, and you see a lot of other car companies doing that as well, such as Hyundai, which is very interesting. So actually start the car, you would click the button there and you would start it, and we're going to drive it in a little bit, so stay tuned for that. Alright, so let's look at the car, the interior with it being on, and you'll see this very large display. And then some important things to look at is a 96% of battery range, the time, how much range you have left, 262. That's something I like very much. On the Teslas you can only get one reading, so you either get the percentage or the mile, but here you get the percentage right there, 96, 262 miles. Now there is a touch screen. So you see with the touch screen, there's your menus. So you go through all of these here and you have a lot of features. Drive recorder, messages, navigation, telephone, Spotify, Sirius. So you have the apps. Again, touch screen, you have your climate menu. So you got a lot of options. So you have the climate control here, climate menu, seat comfort, driver's seat. You can change the backrest. It's a plethora of options. Passenger seat as well. Climate menu. Then here, this would be your home button. It has a great stereo system. There you have your AC vents here and your controls, and again you have your max in your rear, but all your other climate configurations are going to be done in this screen here. Or you can also use the iDrive as well. Go back, you can adjust the volume here as well. So that's nice to have it both on the steering wheel and on your display here. This is where you start and stop. This is where you activate the gears. Now we do have storage space in here as well. Very good space. Now here you have your SOS button, you have your lights that you turn on there. Then you have this huge roof. And it keeps out heat very much. I mean, to the touch, it's hot, but you get almost no light in here. So it's pretty cool. Alright, so let me show you guys how to technically open the roof. So as you see right now, it's completely fogged up. But if you click this button here, and look at that, and then you fog it up again. Very cool. So an interesting feature I just found out is there is actually nothing to open the door. So what you do is press the button here. So similar to Tesla, that's what you click to get out. Alright guys, so something interesting I wanted to point out when you open the iX is you see all the carbon fiber surrounding the door sills. And the reason for that is that this car actually has a carbon fiber frame. Now stay tuned in the video as I drive this car because it's actually very impressive. Many great things to say about this car. It's very rigid, handles well. So let me show you the rear as well. Alright, so get into the back seat. So have a nice entranceway here, pretty spacious. The door opens out quite a bit, and you'll notice how the floor is very flat. Now if you see my review previously on the i4, you'll notice that there was like the transmission hump that you see in traditional cars, and again that car was really a 4 Series that was adapted into an EV, where this car actually is built from the ground up. So this is, you know, the real attempt at creating a fully electric vehicle from the ground up. Now I do like this like trim on the door. It looks like carbon fiber. Hopefully the camera shows it, but in person it looks really impressive. Now let's look at the back seat here. So pretty spacious. You got a lot of headroom. Now you have the seat here, you have this kind of hole. Not sure what that's for, but I do like that very much, where you have the ability to have your ports to charge your phone. You also have a little space here, this little door that seems to open, where I assume you can put an attachment there to maybe put an iPad or watch something as you're going on a trip. So that's quite interesting. So the middle seat does go down, so you have an armrest. You actually have a little tab there, so you can pull this down and kind of, if you're putting your ski throughs or you have something that's large, you can put that through here by pressing down that latch there. Here you also have the cup holders, so you could sit, too comfortably in the back, have the cup holder if you need it. So you just press that little tab there. So for all the parents out there, you do have anchors on both rear seats, and all you have to actually is lift up those tabs there, and you just put the anchor for the seats as you see here. It's a very easy access, and if you're not going to use it, you just put it down so it looks like that. Alright, so looking at the trunk of the iX, very, very spacious. These are the charging cables that you get, and then you also have storage down here by just pulling that up, and you can also lower the seats with these two little latches here. Alright, so putting the seats down, just do that. Look at that, look how much more space you have here. Then you have storage compartment down here as well. So you can carry a lot of things back here if you needed to. Alright guys, so another thing I want to show you guys is in the trunk, you see the exposed carbon fiber again throughout, because this car is a carbon fiber frame. Now something very interesting is this here, which is actually the taillight of the car, which is pretty crazy because if you think about it, there's like nothing there. But I'm assuming that once you connect it on here and you close it, there's a sensor that knows, and then it's going to reflect that into the taillight here. That's pretty incredible actually, because it doesn't look like it, and if you look, those are the taillights. Alright guys, so now we're going to drive the BMW iX, and you have the start button here. You're going to see the gauge cluster change. Now when you pull the lever back, you can pull it down to D, or if you want to do one pedal drive one more time, and once it goes to B and you take your foot off the accelerator, it's basically going to brake for you, so it has regenerative braking. Alright, so now we're ready to go. This is the first time I'm driving it, so here we go. Very smooth. Now I'm not sure you guys can see in the camera, but there's a heads-up display here. Shows you the current speed and also the speed limit of where we are. So you can tell already that as you take your foot off the gas, it's very responsive. So very similar to a Tesla. So you probably never have to use the brakes on this car. Now, it's very smooth, very quiet. Now this is a large car, but it does feel, you know, like a good size, ample power. I really like the steering wheel. I wasn't a huge fan of the 2-spoke, but I really like it. And it has very nice pickup. So actually I can change my modes and put it to sport. So that's going to give us the most performance oriented. Now even the heads up display changes the color to red. The gauge cluster changes it to more aggressive as well. It tells you how much power you're using. It tells you how much percentage of battery you have left and how much range in terms of miles. That I like a lot because the Tesla only gives you either the percentage of battery or the mileage as far as range. It doesn't give you both. So that's really cool. And kudos to BMW for doing that. Alright, so now I'm going to give it a little bit more gas or throttle. Wow, it's quick. And exactly for a car this big, that's very impressive. And then you take your foot off the gas and it slows down. And then you have all your features here, your maps. So great driving. Alright guys, so my impressions of driving the iX. It feels very sporty. You know, it's a big car. You know, it's almost, I would say, the size of an X5 perhaps, but because it's electric you don't feel that weight. And you know, as guys who follow the channel, I have a Tesla, and you know, that's a great car, but I mean, BMW, they make, you know, premium products, and you can just feel that everything about this car is premium. The steering wheel, the quality, the materials, the build quality. You know, something that Tesla lacks is the build quality. You know, they have great technology, but this car has both. It has great technology and it has great build quality. It handles great. I mean, I'm very impressed actually. And this wheel, I'm actually falling in love with it because it's very different and it takes some time getting used to, but it's very, very cool. And the one pedal, driving is excellent as well. You can adjust that again by using the lever here. And alright guys, so I'm going to put it in reverse. Just want to show you guys that this car has the parking package, so to give you an idea. And you see a view from the top. And the rear camera is very, very clear. So hopefully I do a good job for you guys here when I park. Just want to show you guys the technology. Very impressive, the clearness. They didn't do the best job in the world. But I just want to show you guys what it looks like. You have all the sensors and everything else. Then to put it in park, you just hit the P. And there it is.